Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today we're going to continue on with our series for the 30 days of preparedness. And so, this one, if this is your first one, don't worry, at the end, I'll have a little card up there. You can go back and watch the series in its entirety. But we're going to have a little fun with this one, and shout out to little Rural, my 5-year-old, who gave me the idea of basically doing the ABCs. So we're going to do a letter a day for the days of September as we talk preparedness. Now, today is the third day, so we are going to be doing the letter C. So, when it comes to C, I'm going to start out with you need to be creative and to create. Okay. So, we all know that things break. Plans don't always go the way that they should. And so you have to be able to be creative, how to make things work, how to have it to where you have, you know, backup plan to backup plan, to be able to think on the fly, if you will, that when there is a monkey wrench thrown in there, that it's not game over. How do I do this? How can I be creative and get through the situation? How do I patch things? How do I make a decision in order to get through what's going on now? So creativity, I think, is a very good strong start. Now, the next ones is going to be much more preparedness related. I've gotten some feedback now, and instead of describing things, they wanted more prepping terms. How about this? How about cordage? I think a lot of us, we know that when it comes to the basics of preparedness, cordage is one of the main ones, okay? You need to have cordage for a bunch of different things, and that is anything from securing objects, securing a door, anything along those lines. It is good for medical to be able to, tie up things on wound care and things like that, to be able to tie up a hurt arm or anything along those lines. You can do it for anything of having fishing stuff. You can take cordage down so you have the ability to trap and to fish. You can use it to tie up other preps and to be able to string up laundry to let it dry, right? I mean, cordage has a ton of different things. The next one is going to be candle. So it's going to be one of the ones that you can use this as candle watt or candle lighting or anything along those lines. And we're just talking about being able to uh, brighten up the darkness. Do you have something along the lines of that squared away? Now, yes, we could have saved this for flashlight or L for lantern or whatever. We'll see how that goes. But candles are a pretty cheap way to be able to see in the dark. It's one of those ones that it does not require any power. As long as you have the ability of fire, you have light and the ability to transport that light and to walk around with it. Uh, so I think that candles are a pretty important thing to throw into your prepping gear or stash or whatever you want to call it, right? So to round this out, I'm going to go with canning, to the ability to preserve food. When we talk about most people, you're not going to be able to grow food year round. You're not going to be probably lucky enough to be able to hunt, trap, fish, everything every single day. There's going to be times where you're going to go through a dry spell. Um, Maybe weather's bad, or whatever. Insert thing here. And so the ability to be able to preserve food by canning it is a very important skill to be able to not only learn but master. And it's kind of like any other skill. It can be daunting. It can be one of those ones that maybe a little scary as you start to learn the skill and develop it. People throw out words of botulism and all this other stuff, and yes, it's dangerous and things like that. But once you really get canning, you start to realize, as long as you're doing it properly, you really don't have to worry about it so much. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that I put canning into this mix. Now, we could have went through and done a whole bunch of other C's. Um, the ability to be crafty, to be able to grab a couple of items here and there, and just kind of MacGyver up something. So, the ability so that way you can find a problem and craft the solution. Well, that's kind of like an honorable mention. We could have gone anywhere from being courageous. When you get into an SHTF situation, you're going to have courage. You're going to have to be able to stand up in the face of sometimes danger or into a situation that is uncomfortable. And, right there, comfort is as another honorable mention. That's one thing to survive an SHTF situation, which again, on my channel, that is the absolute number one goal, right? Number two is comfort. Try and live as comfortably as possible for as long as possible. If SHTF goes out, in a longer time span, then comforts might have to go out the window. But it would be nice to not just struggle to survive every single day. It'd be nice to be comfortable while you're trying to do it, and that's what we try and prepare for. It's kind of the whole purpose of prepare. You're pre doing it. You're getting ready before the situation happens. And so there's a bunch of honorable mentions, but I think the list that we kind of came up with, I think it's a pretty good one. I don't want to take up all the C's. Now, real quick, because I know that I'm going to get this and I'm going to go ahead and grab it right now before one of you get it into the comment section. The honorable mention of today is coffee. So if you're not a coffee drinker, I get it. But for a lot of us, we are. It'd be really wise of you to start figuring out how to uh, make sure that you have coffee. They make it in a bunch of different ways. You can make your own little go pouches, so that way you can put it in your EDC. You can put it in your get home bag or your bug out bag or whatever. I've seen a bunch of people be very, very creative and dump some coffee grinds into like straws and burn the tips. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do it yourself, and you're not, buying the commercialized version of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can go buy the ones already in the pouches and everything. Buy it, you're done. So there's a lot there. We covered up a lot of C's, but I don't want to take them up all because I issue a challenge every single video that I do, and this one is going to be just the same. What C's could we add to this list? So if you have a C for today's video that we can add to the 30 days of preparedness, drop it down in the comments. Let's see how we can do as a prepping community. And there, hint, hint, is another C I was waiting for somebody to get. So with that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's definitely more information to come. And with that, I want to remind you, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.